The colonies were quiet at first. Across 12 distant planets, humanity had built small settlements, research stations, and trade outposts. Life was not easy, but humans had a stubborn way of adapting. They had faced harsh climates, unpredictable weather, and strange alien wildlife. Yet nothing had prepared them for what was coming. It began with reports of missing settlers. On a remote colony in the Crystallis system, a research team had gone out to survey a nearby valley. When they didn't return, a search party was sent. All they found were massive claw marks in the soil and broken equipment. There were no survivors. Dr. Elena Morris, a xenobiologist aboard the colony's main station, examined the reports. Her brow furrowed as she compared data from the other colonies. "This is happening everywhere," she said, her voice tight. 12 planets. Every colony reports the same pattern. Something is hunting humans, and it's not natural. Colonel David Reyes, the commander of interstellar security, leaned over her console. "So what are we dealing with, Doctor? Rogue predators, mutant animals?" Elena shook her head. "No, Colonel. These creatures are too advanced. They move with intelligence, they adapt to tactics, and they're bigger and faster than anything native to these planets. Someone designed them. Someone released them on purpose." The room went quiet. The implication was chilling. Humanity had always been careful when expanding into alien space. They respected treaties, maintained communication, and rarely provoked other species. If someone had unleashed engineered predators, it meant a declaration of war, a war humanity hadn't yet seen coming. Within days, the scope became clear. Drones and scouts reported terrifying creatures. Massive four-legged predators with armor-like skin, claws sharp enough to tear through metal, and eyes that seemed to calculate every move. Colonists were trapped in their shelters, unable to leave. Food supplies were disappearing. Panic spread faster than the predators themselves. The Council of Earth convened an emergency session. Representatives from all sectors, military, science, diplomacy, gathered in the virtual chamber. Screens flickered with live feeds from the endangered colonies. "We've tried everything," said General Akira Chen, leader of the Earth Defense Fleet. "Firepower doesn't work. Our weapons only slow them down. The creatures adapt instantly. If we don't find a solution soon, entire colonies could be lost." Elena spoke up, her voice firm despite the tension. "We can't fight them with guns and lasers alone. We need to think differently. We need to fight fire with fire, or, more accurately, nature with nature." The room buzzed with murmurs. The suggestion sounded absurd. Humanity had the most advanced technology in the known galaxy, and she was proposing animals? "Yes," Elena continued, ignoring the skepticism. "We need a predator capable of matching these creatures in strength, intelligence, and adaptability, something the aliens won't expect." Colonel Reyes rubbed his chin. "And you're suggesting we take an animal from Earth and release it? On these worlds, that's risky." Elena nodded. "I know it sounds unconventional, but I've been studying the behavior of a few species. One stands out. A creature with immense strength, intelligence, problem-solving ability, and loyalty. A creature that can understand commands and work with humans, a silverback gorilla." The council erupted in debate. Some dismissed it outright, calling it a primitive idea. Others argued that they had already lost too many lives to traditional tactics. The video feeds from the colonies showed terrified settlers barricaded in their shelters, shadows of predators moving in the distance. Finally, after hours of argument, the council reached a compromise. They would consider Elena's proposal, but only as a last resort. She was given a team of scientists, trainers, and engineers to develop a plan. Elena's first task was selecting a suitable gorilla. She and her team worked in a secure facility, on Earth studying genetics, strength tests, and intelligence scores. Finally, they chose one, a massive silverback they named Titan. Titan was not just any gorilla. He had been raised in an environment that encouraged problem-solving and cooperation. He understood simple commands, could navigate obstacles, and displayed remarkable calm under pressure. Next came training. Titan learned to respond to human gestures and vocal commands. He practiced moving through obstacle courses, lifting and throwing heavy objects, and avoiding traps. Scientists tested him against simulated predators, robotic constructs designed to mimic alien attacks. Titan excelled, showing an unexpected combination of strength, intelligence, and creativity. But it wasn't just physical training. Titan needed to bond with humans. The colonists he would protect were strangers from different planets, and he needed to trust them. Elena spent long hours with him, speaking softly, playing, and encouraging him. Slowly, a connection formed. Titan began to understand loyalty, teamwork, and the value of protecting those weaker than himself. Meanwhile, the situation on the colonies worsened. Entire settlements were destroyed, leaving behind scorched soil and shredded structures. Reports indicated that humans were fleeing, trying to survive in hidden caves and tunnels. The alien predators seemed unstoppable. The first deployment was planned carefully. Titan would be sent to a colony on the desert world of Zariah 7, one of the hardest-hit planets. Drones mapped the predator patterns. Human squads prepared traps, and the transport vessel was readied. Titan seemed calm, almost understanding the importance of his mission. He was equipped with a special harness that allowed humans to communicate with him, giving instructions and monitoring his health. As the transport ship left Earth's orbit, Titan sat in his compartment, muscles coiled, eyes alert. Elena placed a hand on the glass. "This is our chance," she whispered. "You're not just fighting for them, you're fighting for all of humanity." Titan's chest rose and fell slowly. There was a spark of understanding in his eyes, a hint that he knew the weight of the task ahead. Across the galaxy on the 12 worlds, the alien predators moved silently. They were unaware of the threat approaching, a creature unlike any they had encountered before, a living weapon that combined the best of nature with the guidance of human intellect. The battle was about to begin, and for the first time in weeks, there was hope. The desert planet of Zariah 7 was harsh and unforgiving. Sandstorms swept across the dunes, and the sun scorched everything in sight. The human colony had been reduced to scattered shelters and shattered buildings, the remains of research stations lying half-buried in the sand. Survivors moved cautiously, eyes scanning the horizon for the deadly predators that stalked them. Titan arrived at the colony aboard the transport ship, the massive Silverback secured safely in a reinforced compartment. The humans cheered silently as the doors opened, revealing him in all his strength and height. For many colonists, seeing him was the first spark of hope in weeks of terror. Dr. Elena Benton, now at the colony's command post, studied the terrain carefully. "The predators are fast," she said, pointing to a digital map. "They hunt in packs and know the colony layout. We have to lure them into open areas where Titan can strike without endangering civilians." Colonel David Reyes nodded. "We'll set up traps, guide Titan, and let him do the heavy work. He's our best chance." Titan crouched, muscles tense, his sharp eyes scanning the dunes. He seemed to understand the danger immediately. The humans moved cautiously, placing sensors and signal beacons to track predator movements. Night fell, and with it came a chilling silence. The colony's lights flickered, casting long shadows across the sand. Then, a distant roar shattered the quiet. A group of predators emerged, from behind rocky outcrops, their glowing eyes reflecting in the dim light. They were massive, larger than any animal the humans had ever seen, with armored scales and claws capable of cutting through steel. Titan growled low in his throat, a sound that resonated through the air. He stepped forward, moving with surprising grace for his size. The humans held their positions, guiding him with hand signals and quiet commands. The first predator lunged, leaping toward a human shelter. Titan reacted instantly, swinging his powerful arms and knocking it aside with a force that sent sand and dust flying. Another predator charged from the side, jaws snapping. Titan grabbed a rock and hurled it with precision, striking the creature in the chest and sending it crashing into the dunes. Colonists watched in awe. Titan was not just strong, he was clever. He anticipated attacks, using the environment to his advantage. He dodged, climbed, and struck with calculated force. For every predator that lunged, Titan had a counter, as if he could predict their moves before they made them, but the predators were relentless. They adapted quickly, flanking Titan trying to corner him. He roared, signaling humans to adjust the traps. Explosive devices hidden in the sand created barriers, slowing the predators. Titan used the moment to drive them toward open terrain, where his strength gave him the advantage. Amid the chaos, a young colonist, Mara, ran toward a collapsed building, trapped by falling debris. One of the predators noticed her and lunged. Titan saw her in danger and sprinted with astonishing speed. In a single leap, he intercepted the predator, slamming it into the sand and shielding Mara with his massive body. "Go! Move to safety!" Titan seemed to command, his intelligence evident in his actions. Mara ran, tears in her eyes, as Titan engaged another predator, rolling, dodging, and striking with precise force. The battle co. The desert winds had settled on Zoriah 7, leaving the colony eerily calm. For a brief moment, the humans allowed themselves to breathe. Supplies were replenished, shelters repaired, and scouts returned with reports. No predator sightings in the last 24 hours. For the first time in weeks, hope seemed tangible, but Titan did not rest. The Silverback patrolled the perimeter, muscles coiled and senses alert. He moved with purpose, silent among the dunes, listening to the faintest sounds. His instincts told him something was changing. The predators he had faced were clever, but their behavior had shifted. They were no longer attacking blindly. They were stalking, observing, learning. Elena and Colonel Reyes studied new data. "They're adapting faster than we thought," Elena said, her voice tense. "The predators seem to be coordinating their attacks. They're learning from Titan." Reyes frowned. "So Titan's teaching them how to hunt him? That's dangerous." Elena nodded. "Yes, and worse. They might be testing our colony. We need to prepare for something bigger." Days later it came. A scout team reported an unusual sight. A massive predator, far larger than the others, moving with deliberate, intelligent steps. Its armored scales glimmered under the twin suns, and its eyes seemed to hold calculation, not instinct. It was the first sign that the alien coalition was directly involved. Titan sensed the danger instantly. He growled low in his throat, muscles tensing as he moved toward the threat. The humans followed, guiding him from behind with hand signals and quiet commands. The battle began at dusk. The colossal predator charged first, faster than any creature Titan had faced. Sand and debris flew in all directions. Titan met it head-on, absorbing the impact with his massive shoulders and retaliating with powerful blows. But this predator was different. It anticipated his moves, dodging and striking with precision. Elena watched, worry etching her features. This is not just a predator. It's controlled, or at least guided, by something intelligent. Titan's fighting more than brute strength now. Titan adapted quickly. He dodged, climbed nearby rocks, and used the terrain to his advantage. Each strike he made was precise, calculated to weaken rather than waste energy. He roared, drawing the predator toward a trap the humans had prepared. Explosive nets hidden beneath sand erupted, momentarily slowing the beast. The predator recovered, shaking off the sand like a storm. It lunged again, faster this time, but Titan was ready. He sidestepped and used the creature's momentum against it, hurling it into a shallow ravine. Dust and rocks tumbled as the predator tried to regain its footing. Humans fired non-lethal, projectiles aiming to distract rather than harm, while Titan kept the predator engaged. Every action he took was coordinated, almost as if he understood the human's strategy. It was teamwork in its purest form. Human intellect combined with the raw power and instinct of Earth's most formidable primate. But the fight revealed a troubling truth. The predator carried a strange device on its back, a control unit pulsing with alien energy. Elena's eyes widened as she realized the implications. They're controlling the apex predators remotely. If we destroy the creatures without disabling the control units, more will come. This is a war tactic. They want to learn from every encounter. Reyes nodded grimly. Then we need to target the source, not just the soldiers. Titan, sensing the humans' urgency, changed his strategy. He stopped attacking blindly and began focusing on the device. Using his immense strength and cleverness, he clawed, grabbed, and smashed at the alien unit while avoiding the Predator's deadly attacks. Sparks flew and a high-pitched shriek echoed as the control unit short-circuited. The Predator froze, confused and disoriented, then stumbled and fell. Titan stood, over it, chest-heaving, watching carefully. The humans approached cautiously. "He did it," Elena whispered, a mixture of awe and relief in her voice. "He disabled the control unit. That's the key." But the victory was short-lived. The skies above Zoriah 7 darkened as alien ships appeared on sensors, hovering silently over the colony. They were sleek, fast, and armed with advanced weaponry designed for suppression. The apex predators had been only the first wave. Titan had just drawn their attention. The humans retreated to the command center, while Titan positioned himself at the colony's edge, ready to defend. His instincts told him that this fight was bigger than anything he had faced, but he did not hesitate. He had learned to anticipate, adapt, and cooperate, and he had humans he trusted watching his back. As the alien ships began scanning the terrain, the colony's systems detected multiple incoming threats. Drones were dispatched to scout, but Titan's focus never wavered. He prowled silently among the dunes, waiting, listening, ready to strike at the first sign of danger. Elena studied the sensors and felt a spark of inspiration. "Titan isn't just our weapon," she said aloud. "He's our scout, our shield, and our hope. If we can coordinate his actions with our technology, we can turn the tables. The predators and their masters won't expect humans and nature working together." Night fell, and the desert grew cold. Titan crouched on a high ridge, muscles coiled, eyes scanning the shadows. He had faced death countless times in the last days, yet he was learning, growing, becoming more than anyone had expected. The alien ships circled above, and somewhere within their command centers, unseen alien eyes studied Titan. They had unleashed apex predators from 12 worlds, confident that humanity would fall. They had underestimated one silverback gorilla and the humans who trusted him. For Titan, there was no fear, only focus. Every muscle, every sense, every instinct was tuned for survival and protection. He had learned from his battles, and he would adapt again. And across the galaxy, humanity watched and waited, hoping that this remarkable creature could lead them through the storm. Titan was more than a gorilla. He was a symbol. A symbol that humans, when clever, brave, and united with nature, could stand against the deadliest threats the universe could send. The night on Zoriah 7 ended in silence, but it was a silence filled with tension. Titan's eyes glowed faintly in the moonlight, alert, unyielding. The predators had learned, the aliens had noticed, and the war had truly begun. But humanity, guided by courage and intelligence, had a chance. And Titan was at the heart of that chance. The alien ships hovered high above Zoriah 7, silent and watchful. They did not attack the colony directly. Instead, they circled like hunters waiting for their prey to weaken. Everyone in the command center felt the weight of their presence. Colonel Reyes stood at the main console, arms crossed, eyes fixed on the readings. "They're studying us," he said. "Titan's fight has caught their attention. They'll strike when they think they've learned enough." Elena adjusted the sensors, her voice calm but urgent. "That's why we can't just sit here. If they want to study us, we'll give them something unexpected. We'll fight back on our terms." Reyes raised an eyebrow. "You mean using Titan again?" Elena nodded. "Yes, but not just Titan. We combine his instincts with our tools. He's shown he can adapt to the predators. Now we need to adapt with him." The plan was simple but dangerous. Human squads would coordinate with Titan to strike at predator nests near the colony. At the same time, scientists would analyze the broken control unit he had destroyed to find weaknesses in the alien system. The goal was not just to survive, but to push the predators back and show the aliens that humanity would not bow. At dawn, Titan led the first strike. The desert was quiet, the twin suns painting the dunes gold as human squads moved behind him. The colonists had set traps, hidden energy nets, and sensor beacons to guide their movements. Titan crouched low, sniffing the air, listening to the distant growls of predators. The first nest was hidden in a canyon. Strange, web-like structures lined the rocks, made from alien materials that pulsed faintly with energy. Inside, several predators lurked, guarding strange pods that glowed like eggs. Reyes whispered into the comm, "Move carefully. Titan goes first." Titan approached slowly, his massive frame blending with the shadows. He picked up a boulder and hurled it into the canyon, drawing the predators out. They charged, snarling, claws flashing. But this time Titan was not alone. Human squads triggered traps as the predators lunged forward. Energy nets sprang from the ground, tangling their legs. Explosive charges detonated, shaking the canyon walls. Titan used the chaos, striking fast and hard. He slammed one predator into the canyon floor, rolled aside from another, then grabbed a fallen metal beam and swung it like a weapon. The humans fought beside him, firing carefully aimed shots to distract and disorient. Together they moved like a single unit, Titan's brute strength and clever tactics working perfectly with human planning. Within minutes, the nest was destroyed. The glowing pods were secured for study, and the predators either defeated or scattered into the desert. Elena examined one of the pods. "They're not eggs," she said, her brow furrowing. "They're containers. The predators aren't breeding naturally. They're delivered, engineered, and released like weapons." The discovery sent a chill through the group. The aliens were not just testing humanity. They were manufacturing an endless supply of monsters. Over the next days, Titan and the humans struck again and again. They destroyed nests, captured alien devices, and drove predators away from the Psi colony. Each battle was brutal, but every time they grew stronger. Colonists who had once hidden in Fenau fought alongside Titan. The colony of Zoraya 7 stood battered but alive. For weeks, Titan and the humans had fought side by side, driving predators back and breaking nests apart. Every victory brought hope, but also a warning. The aliens were watching and learning. The stronger the humans became, the more dangerous the predators grew. In the command center, Elena Benton looked at the glowing map of the desert. Dozens of red marks showed predator nests destroyed, but at the edge of the screen a cluster of bright signals pulsed. It was the alien control hub, buried deep within the rocky canyons. "This is it," she said quietly. "The source of the control signals. If we take it out, the predators will lose coordination. Maybe the aliens will finally pull back." Colonel Reyes crossed his arms. "It's heavily guarded. They know we're coming. But you're right. We can't survive endless waves. We have to hit them where it hurts." All eyes turned to Titan. The Silverback crouched near the wall, calm but alert. His black fur was scarred from many battles, yet his eyes shone with determination. He seemed to sense the importance of what was being discussed. Reyes nodded. "Titan leads. We'll back him up. Humanity and nature together." The next morning, the strike team set out. Titan moved at the front, muscles tense, every step steady. Behind him marched squads of colonists armed with traps, drones, and explosives. Above them, the alien ships hung like dark clouds scanning the desert. The canyons grew narrow and steep as they approached the hub. Strange alien structures jutted from the rocks, pulsing with blue energy. The air vibrated with an unnatural hum, and every colonist felt the weight of being watched. The first wave struck without warning. Dozens of predators, faster and stronger than before, leaped from the canyon walls. Their glowing spikes lit the air as they lunged. Titan roared, slamming into the nearest creature with earth-shaking force. He grabbed another by the tail and hurled it into the rocks, then leaped forward, breaking their formation. Humans supported him with precision. Traps snapped shut, drones fired flashes of light to blind predators, and explosives collapsed narrow paths. Together they fought not as separate beings but as one coordinated force. Still, the battle was brutal. The predators adapted quickly, circling Titan and trying to overwhelm him. One sank its claws into his arm, but Titan grabbed a broken metal pole and drove it into the creature's chest, sending sparks flying. Another predator pinned him against a rock, but humans fired grappling lines, pulling it away long enough for Titan to smash it down. Step by step, they advanced deeper into the canyon. The alien hub loomed ahead, a towering black spire covered in glowing lines, pulsing like a living heart. At its base, a swarm of predators guarded the structure, their eyes glowing with alien intelligence. Elena gasped. They're not just animals anymore. They're linked directly to the hub. It's controlling them like an army. Titan did not hesitate. He charged forward, smashing through the enemy line. His roar echoed through the canyon, a sound of raw defiance. The humans followed, laying explosives at the spire's base. The fight became chaos. Predators swarmed from every side, claws slashing, jaws snapping. Titan fought with everything he had. He lifted boulders and hurled them like missiles, tore predators off humans, and struck with a fury that shook the ground. He was more than a fighter. He was a wall, a protector, a living force of nature. But the aliens had prepared for him. From the spire's top, a massive figure emerged, a predator unlike any other. Twice Titan's size, armored in gleaming black plates, its eyes burned with alien intelligence. This was the ultimate weapon, the champion designed to defeat Titan. The two Titans faced each other in the canyon. The air grew still, as if the world itself waited. Then, with a roar, they clashed. The alien beast struck first, slamming Titan back with crushing force. Rock shattered as Titan hit the canyon wall. He rose again, chest-heaving, and countered with a powerful blow that echoed like thunder. They grappled, strength against strength, neither yielding. Humans watched in awe and fear. "We can't interfere," Reyes said, voice low. "This is his fight." The duel raged on. The alien beast used cunning attacks, slashing with claws that glowed with energy. Titan adapted quickly, dodging, grabbing weapons from the battlefield and striking with precision. He used the canyon itself as a weapon, slamming the creature into sharp rocks, throwing sand to blind its eyes. Finally, Titan saw his chance. The alien beast lunged, jaws wide, but Titan twisted aside and grabbed the control device glowing on its back. With a roar of raw strength, he tore it free. Sparks exploded, and the alien beast staggered, confused. Titan seized the moment, lifting the creature and slamming it into the canyon floor with a force that shook the ground. The beast lay still. Titan stood over it, chest rising and falling, victorious. Meanwhile, the humans triggered the explosives at the spire's base. The alien hub erupted in flames, collapsing in on itself. Energy crackled and died, and across the battlefield the predators froze, their eyes dimming. Without the hub, they lost coordination and scattered into the desert. Cheers erupted from the colonists. The battle was over. Elena ran to Titan, placing a hand on his scarred arm. "You did it," she whispered, eyes shining. "We all did it, together." Reyes stepped forward, his voice carrying across the canyon. "Today we proved that humanity will not fall. They unleashed predators from 12 worlds, but we unleashed something stronger, our courage, our unity, and Titan." The surviving colonists raised their fists, their voices echoing in triumph. Titan stood tall, gazing at the burning wreck of the spire. He was scarred, exhausted but unbroken. Above, the alien ships began to retreat. For the first time, the coalition that had unleashed destruction turned away. They had tested humanity and been answered with defiance. Titan's roar filled the canyon, deep and powerful. It was not just the roar of a gorilla, it was the roar of humanity itself. The war was not over, but the final showdown on Zariah 7 had changed everything. The aliens now knew that humans were not prey. They were fighters, survivors, and with Titan by their side, they were pred. The sun rose over Zariah 7, painting the desert sky with colors of gold and crimson. The battlefield was silent now, only the distant cries of wounded creatures fading into the horizon. The alien hub lay in ruins, smoke rising from its shattered spire. Humanity had survived. Colonists worked together, tending to the injured and gathering supplies. Children who had once hidden in fear now walked freely under the open sky. The Yao air carried a new feeling, relief mixed with pride. Humanity had faced the worst the galaxy could throw at them, and they had stood firm. At the center of the colony, Titan rested. His fur was scarred, his massive chest rising and falling slowly as he breathed. But his eyes were bright, alert, filled with something the colonists could only describe as wisdom. To them, Titan was no longer just an animal. He was their guardian, their hero. Elena Benton stood near him, watching with a quiet smile. She remembered the moment when Titan had first stepped out of the human ship, strong and uncertain. Now, weeks later, he had become the symbol of their survival. Colonel Reyes joined her. His uniform was torn, his arm in a sling, but his stance remained firm. "He saved us all," Reyes said softly. "But more than that, he reminded us who we are. Humans don't give up. We fight, even when the odds are impossible." Elena nodded. "And we don't fight alone. We fight together, with each other, and with allies we never expected." She looked at Titan, who was gently nudging a small child that had run up to him. The child giggled and offered him a piece of fruit. Titan took it carefully, almost tenderly. The sight made Elena's chest warm. As days passed, word spread beyond Zariah 7. Other human colonies picked up the signal of victory. Videos of Titans. Battles circulated, showing him standing tall against predators that had once been thought unstoppable. Across the human frontier, he became known as the Silverback Defender. Some alien species also took notice. Not all of them were enemies. Traitors and neutral factions spoke in hushed voices about the human's strange ally. They unleashed predators from 12 worlds, one alien leader said, but humans released something greater, a force of nature shaped by Earth itself. The alien coalition that had started the test grew silent. Their fleets retreated, into deep space, watching, calculating. They had learned what humans could do. The galaxy had changed. But for the people of Zariah 7, the focus was on rebuilding. Homes were repaired, farms replanted, and defenses reinforced. Yet life felt different. Now, stronger, hopeful. One evening, the colonists gathered in the central square for a celebration. Fires burned in tall torches. Music echoed through the streets, and families shared food together. Titan sat near the great stone fountain, watching with calm eyes. Children climbed onto his shoulders, laughing, while adults raised cups in his honor. Elena stepped onto a platform to speak. The crowd fell silent as her voice carried. "Friends, we faced the worst the galaxy could bring. They thought we would break. They thought humanity would fall. But we proved them wrong. We stood together. We fought side by side. And we had a guardian unlike any other. Titan showed us that we are never as weak as they think. We are strong. We are human. And we will never be prey." The crowd erupted in cheers. Titan, hearing the roar of voices, lifted his head and let out his own deep, thunderous roar. The sound rolled across the colony, making the torches tremble. The people,